Hi there, beautiful beings. How are you today? So as promised, we were going to talk about money in this one, but what was coming up as I was sitting with it as well is all of it. The jealousy, the shame, the guilt. What if we invited them in to sit with us like an old friend that has a beautiful message for us? The wisdom that we were meant to gain from that. That jealousy for me kept me apart from my sister my whole life. My whole life. I got to feel it fully, completely. And in the end, I realized that that was the experience I came to have. Not only, you see, I got to experience both sides of it. Not only did I experience my mum retracting her love when my sister was born, that I felt that all of my mum's love was now going to my sister and I wasn't getting any, I wasn't loved anymore. From that moment on, I thought she didn't love me. So not only did I get to experience from that side, oh, okay, my mum's not loving me anymore. My sister's born now, it all goes to her. I had that experience on this side. And on the other side, I decided, well, you know what? I'm not going to love her because she's already getting all of my mum's love. My sister doesn't need my love. So I'm not going to love her. That was the power of my jealousy of her taking all of my mum's love. So I got to experience this not loving on both sides. What does it feel like when I'm not being loved? And what does it feel like when I'm not loving? And I can promise you both feel like crap. Both of them make you feel bad. There's no two ways around it. Growing up, believing my whole life that my mum didn't love me once my sister was born. That was one of the hardest things for me. The hardest. Your whole life, you're like, well, what do I need to do to get that love back? Why am I not good enough to get that love back? Why am I not worthy of that love now? What have I done? What have I done? And for me, the biggest one was that I was so different. Even to this day, I know I am so different. I am. It's what I came to be. I didn't come here to be the same or to fit in or to be like anyone else. I came here to be so different and to stand fully in that. It's just my path. The way I think, the way I act throughout the day. I'm the one that when you go to the shops and the music's playing, I'm the one dancing in the aisles. I'm the one singing in the aisles. And most of the time my daughter will just go and start looking in another aisle now that she's old enough. She doesn't want to hang with me, you know. I can't help it. I hear music and that's what I do. I love music. And I don't care. I feel that sometimes just being me allows others to do the same. So many times people will smile because I'm singing or because I'm dancing, and it's like it gives them that freedom. You know, just let go, just be yourself. Do it. You know, you only live once. Who cares? No one's going to remember that you were dancing in this aisle tomorrow. No one. Or you were singing, maybe my daughter, because it embarrasses her. But apart from her, the strangers that I find as I'm doing my shopping, they're not going to care. They don't know me. Little things like that. But even as a little one, the things that I said, the things that I would share, they scared the crap out of my parents. You know? So I know now that I was talking to Jesus at the age of 5 and before, like up until the age of 5, I was talking to Jesus. And he was my imaginary friend. But as soon as my sister was born and I was starting school, my parents were like, you can't do that at school. You can't be talking about Jesus and talking about these things. They're not normal. You can't do that at school. Or in your life in general. You just can't go out there and say you're doing these things. Because they were worried I was going to end up in a mental institution, especially mum. More than dad, I think it was mum. Because she had already repressed that gift in herself. When she was 5, she saw Mother Mary. She came to her when her parents passed away. I grew up with that story. But that's the only thing she ever shared. And from that moment, at the age of 5, she was also shut down for sharing that she saw Mother Mary. And she was told, not to spread those lies, not to say those things, not to make this stuff up. It's not funny, Stop making things up. It's not true. This is what she was told as a little one. And she received quite severe beatings from her aunt for that. Because her aunt was saying that it wasn't true, that she was making it up, to stop saying those things. And so to my mum, it wasn't safe. So when I was born and I was playing with this imaginary friend in the world and I was living in my own little bubble, because to me it was just me and him. There was nothing else at the time. And then my mum said that I couldn't do that moving forward. And so he stopped appearing. But that was part of my journey. Because I came here to know what it's like to feel abandoned. In that moment, it wasn't just my mum. It was him as well. Because without that, I'd never know what's it like to feel so alone in this world. And to go through a depression that you no longer want to be here by the time I was 22. And I spent a good 1.5 years just crying. I couldn't stop crying. Because I just didn't want to be here. I didn't want to suffer anymore. I didn't want to feel this way anymore. It's not being wanted. It's not being loved. Not being accepted for who I am. I didn't want another day of feeling that way. Not one more. I was done. Feeling alone. Feeling like there's no one else like me out there in the world. So I needed to go through all of that. But the beauty of, for me now, because this information just came through as I was talking, the jealousy, it kept me. I had the experience on both sides. My mum not loving me on one side, which wasn't the truth, by the way. She loved me and she was expressing it in 1,000 different ways. But none of those ways were things that I understood as love. They didn't feel like love to me at the time, because my focus was on her relationship with my sister and what that looked like. And it was nothing like the relationship she had with me. It was totally different. But the truth of it, the reality was that my sister was the opposite of me. Whereas I was always in my own little world, in my own little bubble, exploring the world. I remember being 4 and I'd spend hours following these snails because they left these little silver trails and I thought they were magical. And I wanted to know, where do they go? Did they leave these trails behind that are so silvery? To me, that was magical. And like that, there were thousands of moments. One morning I was holding my breath, pretending, what's it like to be dead? I was only 4. I freaked my mum out because she came in and I was holding my breath, waiting. What happens when you die? What's it like? I'm just sitting there fascinated with, I want to know. And she came in and I'm not breathing. So imagine, as a mother, you come in and your 4-year-old's lying on the bed and they're not breathing. You'd freak out, right? It's time to go to the hospital. So as soon as she started screaming and yelling and all the rest of it, I just came to and I was like, what happened? What's going on? You know, I was totally confused. I was like, you just ruined my moment, woman. You know? Things like that. That's how my mind used to work, you know? And my sister she was the opposite. She's like most kids, wanting the attention of, you know, their mum 24/7. I remember my mum couldn't even go to the bathroom and my sister would follow her, you know? It's like, oh dear. Yeah, all day. She was after my mum, you know, looking for attention all day. Total opposite. So of course their relationship looked different. My mum couldn't run away from her. She couldn't escape her. You know what I mean? It's like she was always there. Like a shadow, if you like, you know. And I wasn't like that. I was the total opposite. I was so in love with this world, so curious about how everything works or why, or what is this magic? Like with the snails. What is this magic? I was fascinated with life. That for me, in my mind, I was always, to this day, I'm always told that I'm always off in my own little world. You know, where did I go? My husband's always saying, where did you go? Are you back yet? You know, and we'd be in the same room and I'd be like, they can sense when I'm off with the fairies, so to speak, you know. But that was just me. And then you can't help it. With your kids, if they're all different personalities, you interact with them differently. You can't help it. You know, if there's one that is super independent, like I was, exploring the world and doesn't want that much interaction with the humans around it, you interact in a certain way. If you have another child that's super clingy and is on top of you all the time, you interact with it a different way. You can't help it. You can't help it. They're all different. It's like a teacher with their students in the classroom. Even with my piano students, I have to adapt my teaching to each student. Each one is different. How they're going to learn is different. And I have to adapt that lesson to that student if I want the best for that student. I can't do them all the same because they're not all the same. I can't teach them all the same. Even with twins, I had to teach completely separate ways because what worked for one didn't work for the other. Absolutely didn't work. And my mind was blown at that time. I was like, what just happened? This was like over 20 years ago now. What have I just witnessed? They're twins. You can't get any closer than that. And yet their personalities were totally different too. You know, I was like really blown away with that. But the magic of this lifetime was that I got to experience what's it like when I'm not being loved. And what's it like when I withhold my love and I don't give my love. I got to experience both. And they both feel yucky. They both make you feel bad because they're not, when you withhold your love, when you don't give your love, for me, that made me feel so ashamed, so guilty. I asked for this sister and I couldn't love her. I refused to love her because of the pain she caused me when she came. It wasn't what I was expecting when I asked for her, you know? So, yeah, it took a long time. It's only been recently that I've shared this information with anyone, and I've shared it here with you guys because of the shame. How can you ask for a sibling and then not love them? Or how can you confess that you don't love, say, your brother or sister, or you don't love your mum or your dad? Now that was something that was really hard for me because no matter what I felt for my mum, and I even tried, I remember one day I heard someone say how much they hated their mum. And I sat there for that day and I hate my mum and I said the words. And no matter how much I said the words, I couldn't feel the hate in my heart. I couldn't feel it. And for my sister, it wasn't a hate. It was a total detachment. What's the word? I'm trying to think of the word where you... It is detachment, but it's... I found it. It took a while. I had to pause. The word is dismissive. When you're completely dismissive of someone, like for me, it was like she doesn't exist. In my world, she just doesn't exist. I don't want to acknowledge that she exists because of what she has done to me. This was my reality for a really, really long time. Until I realized the gift that she was. Without that, I never would have known what it feels like to not be loved, even though that wasn't the truth. It was my truth. It was how I felt. And it didn't matter if my dad came and told me how much my mum loved me. I didn't feel it. I couldn't feel it within myself. Even now on this last trip when I went to visit them. And again, she was showing me in 1,000 ways her love for me. I couldn't see it and I couldn't feel it. Because it's the experience I came to have. What's it like to not be loved? To feel that you're unlovable? What's it like? How does that feel inside? How does it make you feel? Now, for me, I've never felt broken. That's not the word for me, although I know a lot of people use that word. For me, it was like a void, like this black hole within me, this emptiness that I couldn't fill with anything else. Nothing could take that place of my mother's love that wasn't there. But it's all part of the human experience of this painting that we are painting with our colors. None of it is true. I wasn't done with that experience when I went to visit them. Or my interaction with my mum would have been so different. So different. Because unconditional love does not require another being to behave in any sort of way. You don't need them to show up for you in any way, for you to love them. I don't need my daughter to be anything for me to love her. I don't have any expectations of her. I just love her. She set me free. I woke up with her birth. I woke up. And that to me is the greatest gift of all. I don't need anything from her. I don't know if without her I'd be here today with this awareness, or if I'd still be trying to earn my mother's love. Outside of here, we are love. We are pure unconditional love, connected to the love, the ocean of love that holds us always. In here we are, in this simulation, in this lifetime, on this planet, we are still love. We've just forgotten. All right, my beautiful beings. You never stop being love. You're always held, always supported. You're always connected to Source, God, the universe, whatever it is that you want to call it. You never truly separate. It's just this 3D reality. Makes it seem so. We'll talk more in the next one. The virtual reality is coming up again. And let's share that for those who haven't heard that video. We love you guys. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. We love you. Bye for now.